They told me for years there was no money in podcasting. Well, they were all wrong.
I remember one of the things, because there's a reason I start this podcast intro where they told me for years there was no money in podcasting. I believe you were one of those people. Because I remember, like, I told you I did podcasting.
No, I didn't say there was no money. I said podcasts are boring. I don't listen to that shit. I still don't listen to podcasts.
Right, you don't have to listen to podcasts.
But you know what? But my point was made. Actually, my point was kind of made because what do podcasts do now? What is honestly, like, if you're doing a podcast, what is always in addition to it? What do people been adding to it for years now? Your people are watching them. Why? Because nobody wants to sit there and fucking listen. Like, that was my point. People are now filming everyone's filming them. Mm-hmm. Fucking Drink Champs is a huge fucking show. Drink Champs is huge for Revolt. I don't know if it'd be as big if we were just sitting there listening to Nori. I don't know. That was my point. And I don't know if they don't, because there are people who listen to that mess, but I'm like, they're boring. I don't. But now you see what everybody's like, well, not now, because it's been about 5 years since it's going on, but slowly but surely you see people started like really filming them and really like going all out in the production, not only in just the audio, but look at the Kia show.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it was
everything built for that.
So it was video for you that made podcasts legit then.
Yeah, because I was like, it's not that wouldn't make money, because when we were working there, people were listening to podcasts.
Right. I would listen to podcasts while I work. I still listen to well, not while I work, because I need to focus on the content I'm creating. But like while I'm playing video games, while I'm cooking, while I'm in the shower, while I'm whatever. It's like I don't know if I coined this back then, but I coined it now. Podcasts are the number one form of secondary entertainment. Whereas you're right. No one sits down in their room like crisscross applesauce and listens to a podcast. Maybe there's one or two, but a vast majority don't. They do it while they're doing something else.
Well, that's what David said. He was like, oh, this is something I would listen to while I'm in the kitchen cooking.
Exactly.
But I think he was talking about something specific. He was talking about something specific when we were going through the whole podcast conversation. And he was saying, that's something that I would listen to like while I'm in the kitchen cooking. So yeah, I get it. Like, I mean, honestly, I do that with TV. Like sometimes I'm not actually watching the television.
Yeah, it's just noise.
I'm listening to it.
It's noise.
But I can look up and I see something. But yeah, the video to me has helped it. Like it's more of a, watching a talk show as opposed to listening to talk radio.
Yeah, it's evolved. I think the main difference for me when it comes to podcasts as opposed to any other form of media that's produced, like how we would produce it, is that you as a consumer, as a listener, have so many options. You can listen to it on Apple with all the other podcasts. You can listen to it on Spotify. You can listen to it on Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Amazon, Flubber, whatever. Make something up. You can listen to it wherever you want, or you can watch it. You can consume the full hour podcast like this one's going to be, or you can do it in 4 or 5 different clips, which I'm going to cut next week. Like you as a consumer can consume it however you want and get the same gratification as anyone else. And you just don't get that in TV. You don't get that in film. You don't even get that on Netflix. The big thing about podcasting is that there's no such thing as exclusivity. I was talking to someone just right before I got on the phone with you. She was like, want to use distribution. She's like, I only want it on Apple and Spotify. And I go, that's dumb. Why? I was like, for example, I have Android. I listen to all of my podcasts on Stitcher, unless you're Joe Rogan. If your podcast isn't on Stitcher, I'm not going to listen to it because that's how I consume my content. So you got to tailor your shit to everybody. So like, is that kind of sentiment true for any other type of content out there that you can think of or you've worked on? Or is that just a complete, I just blew your mind?
Well, no, it is, I feel like it can be, it lends itself to all kinds, you know what I mean? All types in the medium. But more specifically to podcasts for sure. To me, I feel like every you can, like you said, you can find content pretty much anywhere. And why wouldn't you want your content to, be everywhere? Because people are going to listen to it or watch it or different ways. You're absolutely right. Mm-hmm. For a person like me, if I may go, I'm probably going to go to Apple, you know what I mean? Or Spotify. Somebody younger than me is probably going to not do that. They're probably so you should be able to have it everywhere. And I also feel like if you're going to do content, you should, nowadays, you kind of want to make it where everybody can kind of enjoy it too.
Right.
I do sneaker content, but I don't, and it's, sneaker content for women, but that's really just the only pigeonholes. I don't care what kind of women or who's watching, it's just those two things. I don't care where I post this information. It's on Facebook. It's everywhere because there's sneaker enthusiasts that are women of all ages. They're not just 22 or on TikTok. So I feel A, you should have all your stuff everywhere, and B, in your content, you should try to make it at least enjoyable for everyone. Even if it's someone who might be older, at least try to add something, that would make, they would probably enjoy it. You don't have to an aspect or talk about something. Or so for my thing, a lot of females my age aren't huge enthusiasts, but there are some, and the ones who are like me will spend money on sneakers. We're not going to wait online and all those things. But one of the things that I do almost every Thursday, or as many Thursdays as I can, is I do a Throwback Thursday. Mm-hmm. And it's usually about some old school pair of sneakers or someone who wore a pair of old school sneakers in a video. And it's not anyone from today. So I've done Throwback Thursdays on people like MC Light, Queen Latifah, TLC, mm-hmm. because of specific sneakers that they're wearing that, are now popular. Now for that, all the people who are my age are like, oh, I remember when TLC wore those sneakers in that video. New kids are like, oh, these sneakers were out that long? So I try to make sure that if I'm doing something that everyone, can identify with something.